let's leave G8 aside then and talk about Bernanke. He faces the press on Wednesday, the two-day meeting. Can he recalibrate the expectations of the markets?
I think there's a view in the market that he should delay the whole sort of tapering idea, and that he possibly could, but they're not actually certain that that will be the case. And I think that's what's continuing to cause the jitters in the market. If you look at the data in the US and worldwide, we have been going through a softer patch. So the need to really taper quickly, say in September, is not necessarily clear to the market. But the Fed have actually been quite hawkish really since the May FOMC meeting. And I think that there's an apprehension that some of that could carry through this week. And if it does, then we're likely to see a further sell-off in the bond market in the US.
We'll come on to yields in a sec, but what do you think the market wants him to say this week?
I think they want him to say that the Fed are considering tapering, but that it'll be done on the close examination of the economic data, and that it's likely to come later rather than sooner. I think that's what the market want him to say. Given the fireworks that have been triggered really by the Fed since the last FOMC meeting and since the testimony on the 22nd of May in front of the GEC. But I think in reality, it's going to be a more difficult decision for the Fed in terms of what they communicate.
And if he does say that, where do yields go?
Well, if he broadly maintains the tone that he's maintained, then yields will spike higher still, up towards 240 for 10-year US yields. If he really tapers back the talk on tapering, then we could well see a bit of a relief rally, but it won't be substantive.
Just a quick final word on China and the bigger context China story. There's been a squeeze higher of the overnight rate. There is a worry about shadow banking. Where does this fit into the equation now?
China is very important because it's not only the prime driver of global commodity demand, but it's also an engine for Asian growth. And Asian growth has been the real sort of star story since 2008. And if we've got China and Asian growth spluttering, it's actually a big threat to the global recovery. So it's not just about the shadow banking system, which is a concern, but it's also about the wider transition of China to a slower growth, and they're finding it difficult to keep growth up.